I just got to put it this way. I didn't see this one coming. I'm absolutely, totally shocked that this is where we find ourselves today. Unimaginable. Anyways, it turns out that the real estate industry and the mortgage industry are now asking the FHFA what the hell they're supposed to do next. It goes something like this. Lawyers who are not part of the real estate industry or mortgage industry just made out like bandits, didn't they?
I made out like a bandit.
They fleeced the real estate industry for everything that they were worth, and now the industry that we call home has been effectively cobbled. So the NAR and the Mortgage Bankers Association, part of our industry, are going to the FHFA, who run Fannie and Freddie, who are in fact the industry, and ask them what the F they should do, because the actual real estate and lending industries have policies in place that were built around the idea that what the actual real estate industry was doing was actually legal. But since the federal government, who is part of the industry, allowed these lawyers, who are not part of the industry, to sue them to death, we now have to deal with all these, here we go again, unintended consequences.
NAR and the MBA asked federal housing officials to confirm their treatment of interested party contributions to home purchase transactions.
Those interested parties, by the way, would be realtors and brokers and mortgage lenders. Why on earth would the MBA and NAR have to do something like that?
In a letter addressed to FHFA Director Sandra Thompson, Fannie Mae CEO Priscilla Almodovar, Freddie Mac CEO Michael DeVito, and Federal Housing Administration Commissioner Julia Gordon.
FYI, just to let you know, that would be every single leader of every governing body of the mortgage industry. Not the real estate industry, but the mortgage industry. So once again, now why would the NBA and NAR have to do that?
The NAR and MBA wrote that it was important for the agencies and government-sponsored enterprises to review NAR's commission lawsuit settlement agreement. They asked federal officials to, quote, provide guidance to market participants that will ensure these new arrangements will continue to be supported by FHA and GSE underwriting standards.
Did you guys catch that? It's kind of an aha moment. You see, the entire mortgage industry was just asked to change their rules because of what the lawyers did to the real estate and now mortgage industry. Unintended consequences. You can just see the dominoes of these unintended consequences falling right before our very eyes. They did this because the entire governing body of everything mortgage lending and the rules that they all have established over decades and decades are all designed around this one simple fact, that the real estate industry and the rules that they had in place were good, that they worked, and they were sound. In short, if the real estate industry is guilty of egregiously screwing over consumers, then all government agencies that govern lending are also guilty of screwing consumers because all of their rules work with and are based on those real estate rules that just found themselves on the losing end of all these damn lawsuits.
And of course, we're talking about commissions. You see, FHA loans and VA loans, which are designed specifically to protect the rights of the underserved communities, limit or omit commission participation. Why? Because the FHA, Fannie, Freddie, and by extension, the FHFA, and all other agencies put protections in place for underserved and minority communities that followed the real estate industry's lead of having the seller pay the commissions.
That's right. Having the seller pay the commissions on all of these transactions since, let's just call it forever. That was the accepted norms. Now ask yourself, why then do all of these lawsuits not extend to all of these government agencies? I mean, outside of the obvious, because by any logical rationale, you'd have to consider them co-conspirators. They facilitated these commissions through their guideline requirements on FHA and VA loans. Yet now, those underserved communities and all of those veterans, once again, are going to find themselves without the very legal representation that they were trying to protect in the first place. I mean, are you kidding me? Sadly not. Well, here's the real kicker. They're not going to get sued because the Department of Justice, another government agency who has oversight of real estate and lending, is looking into the matters right now. Sadly, their position, their investigation, is that the lawyers creating the most illogical round-robin game of blind Keystone Cops that you have ever seen are doing this the right way. Or to put it another way, it's just another day in the life of the logic of the real estate and lending industry. My friends, you can't make this shit up.